Hello and welcome to my mess. It is Friday night and I am an idiot, and like my hat, I did a video where I took the network card, USB card, out of the Vampire 2000, put it in the 4000 with the, it's the Xsurf 100 with the Rapid Road USB. Transplanted that, put another ENC 28J60, the 6-hour Ethernet card, back into Vampire so I could use one of these couplers and shove it in the back. And this is the exact one I used because it's all scratched up. So this will just shove in the back of the blade slot and then I just pretend I don't see it. And that's what I'm going to do. But in addition to that, we had the Supra Turbo 28 that kind of blew the poo on the other Amiga 2000 that I've done. That? It's a little better. There's that jumper that fell off my Amiga 4000 that you may or may not have seen. So, what we're going to do first is two things. We're going to take Big Hoss here. This is, whoops, did I just break that? Dog turds. This is my Amiga 2000, the one I bought brand new. The one in this photo from 1992 with its monitor that's right back there. Anywho, we are going to take this mess apart because I, in my usual fashion, you know, have broken audio CD-ROM cable and I want to fix it. And then, while this is out, I'm going to remove the Vampire. Oh, well, apparently I already took all the screws out. I'm going to remove the Vampire. Why am I removing the Vampire? Because the Supra Turbo 28, that is a turd. I'm going to put that Supra Turbo 28 in because it worked on this machine originally, way back. If you look at my Amiga 2000 restoration video, when Amiga 2000 tune-up or whatever I called it. Is there a screw in here? Okay, so here's the mess of the inside of this machine. Don't be thrown off by this ultimate cable management. One of my little wires here, actually the ground wire fell off, and this one fell off too. So right there, the audio on the left audio is in R243 and the right audio is off resistor R234, and then you just ground it to the nearest ground point, which is right in between the composite and the left audio. Now remember, back in the day it was black, white, yellow. Nowadays it's red, white, and yellow. So plan accordingly if you're going to be replacing your audio jacks, or if you purchase an Amiga with audio jacks replaced, you will notice that, you know, that change. So I'm going to remove my HDMI carefully, not touching the micro SD card. So here's the micro SD card, the HDMI, the JTAG, and the Ethernet module ports on the Vampire. We're going to carefully remove this. I'm not going to remove the Ethernet module. I'm just going to grab the entire unit as a whole and I'm going to unplug my fancy hard drive wire there and just let it hang. And the Vampire comes out pretty easy. You just kind of pick up straight on it. Now, what I have done is I have a ribbon cable that you can see hanging here that runs to the back to this plate. It is in this Chinesium thing. So I'm going to carefully take that out and we're just going to carefully set this $640 turd down. And if you're interested, there's the wire that I think I never ever shown. I just capped and taped it. I did solder it in, 39, and there is a little resistor in here for my brightness control, 330 I believe it is. So we're going to do the right thing and let's just put that right to the side. I'm going to take the boot jumper off of this GDP card. That will prevent it from doing the auto boot sequence. Of course, I don't have anything plugged in. I could remove the card, but I don't want to keep taking out and putting in cards. I never even removed the flicker fixer, like ever. This little kind of stuff, fine. But let me fire up the solder station, and I'm gonna just pow, fix that, and then we'll go from there. Done. Let me zoom in to show you the Ghetto repair. So you can see the red wire does a twist. There's the ground. There's the red and the black ones over there. And we'll straighten these up to make the OCD people feel better. Bloop, bloop. There you go. Anyway, so that's the CD audio cable fixed. Now I'm going to do the wrong thing and complain, if you will, but she's mine. I want to melt some hot glue over here because I keep pulling them off. And I can get hot glue off easy. That's cool. And this is just for the future. That's my CD audio. Now, on to the meat and potatoes. Alright, so this is the Amiga 2000 version of the Supra Turbo 28. We went over this before. My machine jumper is set. This is the boot off on. Don't know what option does, but yeah. So this is a 68,000 CPU replacement, and it just goes in here the opposite way, like this. And this would click right here, other way, and you'd have a nice off and on switch, right? Great. If it works. Problem is with the Vampire, I'm missing one other small component. Here's a 3.1 ROM, my prototype pilot production ROM from Commodore. There you go. This socket's loose. She's been pushed on a couple times in her life. This is in the on position, energize. Nothing. Yeah, see, this is not going to work. So when this board's in there, it does nothing anymore. It used to. You can tell by the reset here. And then we'll get the workbench screen. It's just crazy. If I can hold that cable in, and there's the 3.1 ROM. So this is just screwed up. I don't know why. I tested all the continuity. I know this looks like just total crap. That's me dragging solder, but I tested continuity between every stupid pin header. It's all it is a pin header with one of these things stuck in there. So if you know where I can get this thing, whatever this blade thing is called, it is literally sitting in between two of these pin headers. What is this piece called? Edge connector? Something? I don't know. I just need one of these. I'll try that. I'll desolder this whole sucker and pull it out and put a new one in. I guess I could go through all these little caps, resistors. So anyway, maybe I'll buy another one. I don't know. This crystal's a 42 and or 40 megahertz. I can get 42 out of it with 8 megs of RAM. And that's where I'm at. So my audio is fixed. I have a 3.1 ROM in now, but I don't need because I got the Vampire. So we'll turn this off. I'm going to put this all back together the way it's supposed to be. And in a couple seconds, you'll see this thing back to Vampire mode with probably looking exactly the same. Alright, pre-boot test fire. Just turned it on. SCSI light is checking for inquiry. 5-disc Nakamichi is online. We're in current mode, filter low. Ethernet. Right out the back, want a coupler. It'll look better once it's done. And I can punch myself right in the potatoes. Why? Everything's looking good, Chris. You forgot one simple thing. Oh my God. One simple thing. You forgot to plug in the HDMI for the Vampire. You forgot to plug in the HDMI for the Vampire. How many times have I done that? Every time. Making sure that the socket is flat because it doesn't have anything to rest on down here. My card is in. Ethernet will go over there. This gets plugged into here, just like a little pass-through, and I tuck it underneath the Vampire next to the Agnes socket. And I did get some Ethernet cables, and there we go! 68080 MMX, bringing the mofo back. And where is my mouse? You can see my SCSI light's still inquiring down here. I do need to test audio though. That's the problem. Let's get the lid back on. I think there's a flash floppy update. What are we at? I'm on 3.16. Don't know what the latest is. Lights are working. Did a tuck job down here. And I'm going to get it all screwed back together. Lid back on and back over there on the pile. So that was a totally wasteful, useless video. In a way, I know that this Supra Turbo 28's got some weird issue and I have to figure it out. So if you know what this thing is called, just that CPU pin slide in the socket piece is called, and where I can get one, or if a fella's got one, reach out to a guy. Email address is in the about on my YouTube main page under contact info. Shoot me an email and see what we can do. This thing was great. I mean, it didn't have any RAM, but I had RAM. It didn't have any like O20, O10, but it was 42 megahertz, and it helped tremendously. It has 68 EC something something. It's on Big Book of Amiga Hardware, and it worked really well. Thank you all for watching. This has been educational, but otherwise useless. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something.